Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Picnic Table Chat Show. Sorry about the little delay and all of that lot. I was just dealing with children, you know what it's like, getting everything ready for their last week of school before Christmas. Oh, and then they've got time off. And yay, Christmas Day. Um, What was I going to say? Firstly, we have been having Wi-Fi issues all day. Like, it's dropping in and out all day. It seems to be holding solid at the moment, but it might be a little bit fuzzy, might be a little bit laggy. I'm not really sure what's going on. It might be the weather. I don't know. But slightly annoying. I haven't even been able to watch a whole YouTube video myself all day. It freezes after literally a few seconds. I think my wife couldn't even watch YouTube shorts, and they're a minute, 15 seconds or something. So that's no good. Hopefully it'll be back to normal by tomorrow. But yeah, so it might be a little bit laggy today. So let's chat about a few things. In fact, I need to change the banner because I was going to chat about the banner, but I haven't put the banner out. There we go. We are now fully booked with traders at the Sheffield event. It is a great lineup as well. I'm really excited about it. Obviously, the event's the 10th of February. It says it there. Tickets are on sale on the website, or you can get them on the door if we don't sell out the tickets on the website. If they sell out, then obviously they sell out. But I doubt that will happen. We are at the Sheffield United football stadium in the Platinum Suite. It's going to be absolutely amazing, fantastic. We've got a huge car park, great transport links. Literally, you can drive A-Road or something. And now I'm being invaded by an Evie. Hello, Evie. Yeah, is it? Right, come on. Thank you. Now she knocks on the door. Right. Now we've locked the door. Secure office, kind of. Why did that open? And it was this tiny house we said that. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, so Sheffield, it's going to be a fantastic day, fantastic event. We're really excited. Like I say, we're now fully booked with traders. All the pictures have been sold. I'm not going to give you much more information. There's quite a bit of information on the website already, but I'm not going to try and do it off the top of my head because I'm not going to remember it, quite honestly. Way too many things going on because obviously I'm working on the other two shows as well. I don't want to get details confused and get in trouble for it. So look at the details on the website. It's mostly up there now. I think I've got a few more bits upload over a bit more time, but it's mostly up there now. Grab your tickets if you want to come along. All I say, grab them on the door. It is what it is. It's really cool. Yeah, that's at the Sheffield United Stadium. I've never thought we'd go up to the stadium sort of level. Obviously, it's not the whole stadium, don't be crazy, but it's definitely very cool. Very cool, right? Yeah, I'm excited, as you can tell. What other things are going on? Right, so whilst I'm thinking about it, whilst it's still early in the stream, I'm going to mention now, next Sunday, that is the 12th, no, the 17th, something like that. Sunday the 17th, that sounds about right. Yeah, Sunday the 17th. On this stream, I'm not going to be doing a mass advertising campaign about it, but on our stream, we're going to be doing our Christmas giveaway. We're going to do, good evening everyone as well, thanks for joining. We're going to be doing our sort of Christmas giveaways in that lot. I'm not going to do a mass advertising campaign. If you're here on the night, you have a chance of possibly winning something, but we don't know. I haven't really thought of most of the details yet. It will come all out on the night. So I'll answer that in a second, Geordie. Yeah, we'll talk on the. There you go. It's as easy as that. And there might be a cool setup or something for you to win. Yeah, Geordie, it's really weird. This last week or two, everyone's been getting quite ill as well. like you said earlier, good evening, Antisocial. You said earlier that you've been feeling quite unwell. Quite a few people I've been speaking to lately have been catching nasty colds and things. The kids have sore throats at the moment, and even I'm a little bit chesty. So there's definitely stuff knocking about. It's that time of year, isn't it? Christmas. Everyone gets ill at Christmas. If you're not ill, it ain't Christmas. You know, you might have a sniffy nose when you're around the fire or whatnot. I think. I always seem to. But yeah, I'm really excited for Christmas. It's going to be awesome. But obviously, with Christmas coming up, there will be a last posting date. As far as I know from my research, that is on the 18th. So the Monday following the day, we're going to do the giveaway. So if you win, we'll get it out on the Monday, because that is the last day we can send post. Anything that is and needs to be sent, I am watching the weather very carefully at the moment. So just bear in mind that if we don't have good weather before the last posting date, it will be after Christmas that you get things. We don't take risks with animals, you know. We're not going to send anything in the cold. Even with heat packs, like when it reaches a certain temperature, those heat packs are pretty much useless. Not useless, but you know what I mean. There's only so much they're going to help, and it's not a risk we're willing to take. So just bear that in mind if you're buying anything alive at the moment. At the moment, we're still fine. The weather's holding nice. It's a little bit windy, holding back the cold. But if that drops off again and we start getting like blankets of snow around the country or something, we definitely won't be sending anything live during. And obviously, like I say, the last posting date is on the 18th. So just bear that in mind, everyone. I have no idea what I've written there. I've written a word on my my notes here of things to talk about, and I can't even read my own writing because I kind of wrote it in a rush scribble. No idea what that is. Oh no, that's it. Yeah, just that we'll be watching for the weather with the live send. Saying that, I've just had a few new things myself. Actually, the products for myself, which is really cool. You know, I don't often buy things for myself at the moment, but this is really cool. So I've got myself a few new tarantulas. I looked earlier. I think I've counted. I've got about 20 of my own tarantulas now, as well as all the stock on the store. So it's that slowly crept up, didn't it? Works, but I absolutely love them. You know, I never handle my tarantulas. That's one thing I don't do. I'd rather just watch them in sort of a cool environment when they're there hunting like they should be. I don't handle them like there's no real like if I was to drop it, and you know what I'm like with my shaky hands, if I was to drop it or whatnot, it's just not worth the risk to the spider. So I don't handle them, you know. But I do love to just look at them. I think they're very pretty and very misunderstood creatures. They're not like well, a couple of them which I've got my they're pretty much like a bitey face one. Their tubs don't charge down here. They're pretty cool. But the rest of them are really chilled. Like my pink-toed tarantula, he literally just sits on his core bark like 90% of the time, and the other 10 he'll just scurry under it. But like you can open the tub, he doesn't really move, doesn't flinch, doesn't go into flat pose or anything like that. Doesn't flick hairs, which is nice. He's just a really chilled spider. And then I've got like other ones. Just put, oh yeah, we'll go into that. I've just put my new ones into some tubs as well. They're only slings, like some, not sling, but they're not large tarantulas yet, so they're only in little tubs, just to make it easier than a vial feed. And yeah, they're really cool. I've got one of the other bird eaters. I cannot pronounce it for the life of me, so I'm not going to attempt it. I've got a golden baboon doodad thing, which is really cool. Again, I need to practice the names before I try and pronounce them. And then I got a couple of other things which I'm not going to go into yet, but I will feature them on the YouTube very soon. And then yeah, I've been working. Obviously, I work on all sorts of things all the time, but we were working on this shallow vert enclosure, which is sort of really good for things and sort of things that don't really need deep substrating, like, you know what I mean, not a large enclosure. You can do tarantulas. I was like that answer, and then I got sent one, and then it was like, oh, okay, this isn't that bad. And I said, I don't handle them, I just feed them, and I like to watch them, and they pretty. I don't agitate them to have issues. Like I say, my chromatomatus or whatever, no. My face bitey ones, they're pretty face biters, you know, but they are still beautiful spiders, absolutely stunners. Anyways, we've been working on these shallow invert enclosures. I posted a picture of them on the Facebook, and yeah, I'm really happy with them. Like, the spiders seem happy. Everything's good so far. Obviously, it's going to take a little while testing, like everything does, but so far it's pretty nice. It's a clear acrylic on 3 sides and solid back with ventilation holes in it, and a nice solid top. The top, it doesn't click on tight, but it is tight enough that you could pick up the enclosure and it won't instantly fall off, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't go picking up the enclosure by the lid. So it's tight, but it's not too tight. Tarantulas of that sort of size aren't going to be open, and that's the main thing, because it's pretty thick and solid. I made sure that, like, because that was always in my mind, if I'm not going to have it clicking tight or a locking mechanism on it, then it needs hefty. You know, and like I say, it's not a large enclosure, so you're not going to get a large tarantula in it that should be able to push it open. Obviously, like I say, it's on trial in my office at the minute. We will see how it goes. I've made it stackable, so if you get a second one, it literally just stacks into the slot on top. They won't all get knocked over that way. You know, I like everything being stackable. That's the main thing about, like, what I'm trying to do, is pretty much everything stacks on top of each other, mainly because of space. Like, I have like 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 16 shelves of ants here, and then a lot of shelves of other stuff, and it's like, how much can I ram on these shelves? You know what I mean? I run out of space all the time. When I've got like 40 different colonies on these shelves, it is jam-packed, you know, because they're all in enclosures. And it's like, okay, how can I pack more in? So yeah, pretty much everything I'm doing at the minute is stackable into each other, just for my use, really. But it you know, if it works for me, it should work for others. And Dorset, I saw your enclosure as well. That's a really cool nest. I like that, buddy. I do like that a lot. I can't remember if I commented. I did leave a like though. Yeah, really nice. Everyone have a look at Ernst Dorset. You know, support him. He's a good guy. And it's always cool to support new things. You know what I mean? Right, you've got 4 orange leg trapdoors. Ooh, see, I like things like that. I really do. Like, I never used to, and like I said, I did things like the same as snake, and then I went and got a slightly bigger snake, and then I got an even bigger snake, because like once you get used to something and whatnot, it's exciting, isn't it? It's like anything. And addicting or addictive. It's addictive, isn't it? To like get some of these things. I don't often buy much at the moment. It's mainly store stuff and whatnot. So that was a nice treat, and it was like I paid for it ages and ages ago, and like because of the weather, it's been withheld, which I'm absolutely fine with. He messaged me and said, look, because of the weather, do you mind if I hold it back? I was like, no, that's fine, you know, send it when it's good to send. And I almost forgot about it, to be honest. And then it came a few days ago. I was really happy with that. Yeah, so after the black, right, yeah, I had one of the blonde camel spiders. They are very cool, but really kind of weird looking. Their face is so weird. And it's like, what have you got me? Like, so one of my staff members, volunteers, whatever you want to call him, Paul, the one that does Cookies Reptiles, let's just call him Cookies whenever we go to a show, he always comes back with a big smile on his face. He's like, "Look what I've got you now," and he thinks he's gonna like not outdo me as such, but like challenge me, like or make the wife angry, we could say. And I just look at him and it ain't gonna happen. I don't like. I'll have anything pretty much. Like not anything, but you know what I mean. Like I'll do some research, and I'm pretty comfortable with most things now. And the wife just lets me do what I need. But he always comes back with a little smile on his face, like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you in trouble with this one." It's like, "No, you're not. You just got me a new present. Yay!" So yeah, he got what was it? I think he got me the Chromatus as well, the Mando Chromatus, and then like he got me that was like, "Oh, I got you a new tarantula," and then I came back like 5 minutes later with a pink-toed tarantula, like, "So have I." Brilliant. That was a few shows back now. That was. I do like my pink-tail. Like I say, he just kind of stands there, like he's just a really hider. In fact, we take him to because he literally just he never goes to threat pose and never kick. I've never seen him in threat pose or kicking his head. When you feed him, he jumps on his food and devours it, obviously. But really, he's like a really just cool spider. A 12-foot Burmese python. See, now that is a big snake. My Mr. Snake, we call him. I think he's about 4 or 5 foot. You know, as big as he's going to get, really. And that's big enough for me. I can manage that, you know what I mean? I can comfortably hold him. He's not too heavy. He's not stronger than me. And I feel quite like he's a very good snake as well. He had many years of handling before he came to me. So he's a very friendly snake and very used to being handled and used to the education side of it as well, because he was involved in school visits and stuff already. So I'm quite comfortable with him at the event things. Not the events, but you know what I mean. I'm quite comfortable with him, like when people come around the house and I've got my snake there. Yeah, he's a very good snake. He is a very good snake. We haven't actually, so I don't even. You know what? He's a good snake. I can control. Well, I say I can control him because you can't control an animal really, but like I'm really good at kind of. I won't even say that because I don't want to say. I'm getting used to sort of reading his behaviours and when he's inquisitive and things like that. And yeah, I feel like I'm confident with him as a snake. I don't think going any bit is my point. I don't think I could go any bigger than him and still feel as confident because, like you say, it is a big snake. 12 foot, like that's bigger than me. There's a good chance it's going to be stronger than me. Especially in a few years' time when I'm sort of getting older, it's definitely going to be stronger than me. Like, how confident am I, like, having that? I don't know. But that's just my point of view. Everyone obviously has their own views on snakes, and lots of people keep snakes up until like I don't know. I'm going to shut up. But you see my point. Like I'm comfortable where I am with snakes. I wouldn't want to get anything that's like more aggressive either, like a viper. I'd love a viper, but I'm not going to get one ever. You know what I mean? There's green tree boas. They're really cool. A 12-foot would eat a dog. Yeah, exactly. It could eat a dog, and like, yeah, like I don't want to be in control of something that is that high up in the food chain. Does that make sense? Like, you know what I mean? It's a lot, isn't it? Like, I'm like my snake. Like the wife said the other day, what would happen if it got out? And I was like, well, it's not like a aggressive or deadly snake, so it would be a matter of finding him and carefully getting hold of him, putting him back. It wouldn't be too bad. It'd be a nightmare, but it wouldn't be too bad. Now, if he was a viper or something like that, can you imagine if that got out in your house? It would be evacuate the house. Right? I wouldn't be, you know what I mean? That's sort of my situation with it. But then I've only really different types of snakes. And I suppose I stick to what I know generally, don't I? Until someone buys me something and just sends me into the deep end. But that is what it is. It's all good fun. Oh dear. That was a ramble and a half, wasn't it? Oh dear. Sorry, there's my chest going again. I'm just going to drink some coffee. That's a bit better. Oh dear. But yes, it is coming up to Christmas. I've said it in the last stream. I'm not planning on really shutting or stopping or doing anything with Christmas. I'm hoping that with the no posting and things like that, it's actually going to give me a little bit of time because we spend like probably 3 or 4 hours a day most days, like wrapping up packages. Uh, so it's a nice little to catch up on some of the admin bits that are still needing doing. I'm still in the middle of writing some of those sub boxes. It's a lot of pages, and I'm really going into some great detail into the messer boxes. I think we're doubling the amount of information involved in those actually. So it's like, what's it for? It'll be like 20 pieces of paper or something over the course of 4 months for you to read, like A4 sides, 20 A4 sides over the course of 4 months. So it's quite a lot of information in that one now, and there's a lot of writing and logistics and things like that, obviously, to get everyone back up to the same point as where they were on the new boxes, moving them boxes. It's a whole process. So things like that. That obviously I'm going to try and get as much of that done this week, if not all of it done this week, and we can start getting fresh in January, knowing where we are with everything, which will be really nice. But I've got so much like sort of computer admin roles. Obviously, with the shows, we've got to risk assess everything and do everything through insurance and etc. So there's a lot of sort of paperwork and whatnot to get done. Um, Even down to like the photographers, we have to have paperwork for having them on site. It's a whole logistical thing, but I absolutely love it. It's what I was sort of, I won't say it's what I was born to do because it's not. It's what I've learned to do quite effectively now, and I do really enjoy it. I love putting on these shows. When I'm like after the Bristol one, it was absolutely fantastic, and I'm hoping we have that again after the Sheffield one, where everyone's leaving happy, like they've had a great day, a great time out, and like even if you like turn up not just like just uh, just the money for ticket entry, you can still have a great day. That's what it is for me. Like, because I remember one year when I admit I was like 12 or 13, I went all the way to London to Drummer Live 2000 and something, 2003 or something like that. I don't know. I went to Drummer Live up in London, and it's a big drummer convention because obviously I play drums. It was a big part of my life was playing drums. So I went to this drum convention up in London. By the time I had paid for my ticket to get there on the train, and then paid for my ticket to get in, I bought a pair of drumsticks, and then I was skinned pretty much, and it was like enjoy as much of the show as I could. But it was kind of a bit rubbish because you're just there, like not able to do a lot. I did the meet and greet things, but that was pretty much what I did all day then. And then I went home. It really stuck with me was like there's nothing like unless you have a lot of disposable income, which these days people just don't have, then like it's sort of no fun. You know what I mean? Like not necessarily, but you see what I'm trying to get at. So just trying to have like extra things, make the day really special for everyone, even if you're like not into insects, you can have a great day, Like I don't know. I just want to make it a fantastic event. I love what I do. And yeah, we're gonna keep making it big better every time. We've got some really cool plans for the next 3 shows, obviously February, May, and August. And if everything goes really well with all of those plans, like I think we've really sort of hit the nail on the head with the Bristol one, what we've got planned for the next year. What I had in my head and a bit more already, like when I was envisioning these shows, like years and years ago, this was a couple of years back, when I first sort of envisioned them and started chatting about them, this is what I had in mind, you know. So it's definitely getting there, and it's going to be a great time. I can't wait for the February one. It's going to be spectacular. Are you planning on coming along, Anne's Dorset, to the February one, or are you going to come to the Clinton? I expect you'll be at the Weymouth one, won't you? And Bristol one also, hopefully. It will be obviously to have you there. I know inputs of interest are coming to both of those shows, so if you'll come along with him again, it'll be fantastic to see you again. Like I say, buddy, always nice to see a friendly face, and that is another see. Like there's a few others here in the chat that do come to the shows every time, and like it's been fantastic to see them every time, to be honest. And it's been really like good for me because they've watched it from the start, if you know what I mean. Like how cut to like to now, and like you know what I mean. It's been a cool journey, and it's been brilliant to have some people come along with that with us on that journey the whole way. So yeah, I'm sure they know who they are. I'm not gonna point out names, but I'm sure they know who they are. So yeah, brilliant, and I can't wait for them to see what I come up with next year. Basically, yeah. This year, and I'm going to implement next year. Whatever, I'm going to shut up. I'm just getting silly now with words. That's spending time with my eldest. She's been very intelligent with her words lately, and you have to be careful of your wording with her. And then with our youngest as well. Like, so obviously our youngest is disabled, and she's recently, in the last year or so, started talking, hasn't she? As many of you will know from watching the streams. And now it's coming up to Christmas. It's like I'm trying to like she definitely knows what Santa is now. She's getting excited for it, and like she's doing her advent calendar every day, and it's the first thing she wants to do in the morning, of course. But then she wants to do the next day, and you kind of have to explain that, you know, the next day is the next day, and she sort of gets it. And then like earlier we were talking about it nearly being Christmas, and I thought we'd go that extra mile in explaining Christmas is on number 25, so hopefully she'll make that connection between her advent calendar, because every day she's counting, you know, and I'm hoping when she makes that connection she'll realise that that's Christmas Day. And she's like, because the problem was saying to her, like, Santa's coming, she expects Santa at the front door now. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm having to be very kind of wordy at the moment. It's definitely an interesting time of the year for us at home. Yeah, looking forward to having the kids home. I'm not going to, like I said, be taking loads of time off. That's not the sort of thing I do ever. But I will be doing some Christmassy stuff with the kids. So I'm not going to be on it 24/7 or 20, no, probably about 18 hours a day. Not going to be quite as on it, but I will still be working and getting a load of those extra jobs done that I've not been putting to the side, but been kind of falling behind on again. I can never get it all done. There's just not enough hours in the day at the moment. Obviously, feeding all the animals as well, that takes up a long time. So it is what it is. We keep ploughing on. Eventually, I think they're going to change it so there's more hours in the day, but that's just to make people work longer. It actually won't surprise me if they had discussed that in Parliament at some point, and someone was like, actually, we can't do that. And like they just hadn't realised because they just don't understand the real world. that's the um, so like signal keeps dropping in and out as well, doesn't it? All right, so we are heading towards the end of this stream because there's not actually that much more to talk about tonight. Um, and my internet is actually pretty awful. Like, it keeps giving me these warnings and it's not happy. So I'm ready, Paul. You're late because you were at work. I'm just sort of rounding up. I was talking about you earlier and how you always like come back at the shows and you're like, oh, I got you something. And I'm like, haha, that's cool. And the camel spider or whatnot came up. So yeah, we were talking about you, Mr. Cook, but nothing bad. Don't worry, buddy. But yeah, I was just sort of heading towards the end of the stream now. So I've got a few more things to do. I actually need to have some dinner as well. I keep forgetting to eat because that is the problem, right? And I think it's a PhD actually. Like, I just forget to eat for like 2-3 days at a time sometimes. It's because I'm not training as well. Like back when I was training, it was like a routine thing, like eat every couple of hours, eat. In fact, I had alarms set to make sure I ate every 2 hours before competitions, like the weeks building up to competitions. I would eat every 2 to 3 hours and train every 2 to 3 hours, sort of alternate in. You'd eat, you train, you eat, you train, and that was my life, you know. So now it's sort of it's nice not to eat all the time. I used to get so fed up standing in front. It was literally like I'd finish a workout. Sometimes I'd be working out, right, like doing a set of bicep curls and whatnot, and then like putting the chicken in the pan in between, and then going and doing another set. So it was like a constant cooking and constant potatoes. So many potatoes, so many chicken breasts. Like the steak was okay because I had to have once a day, like 3 or 4 chicken breasts a day, fish pretty much every day, tons of potatoes, tons of rice, just loads and loads of food, loads of veggies, you know. And it was like I really don't want to ever be forced to eat that again. Like, and it was, bear in mind, I have no teeth, and I have no problem with saying I've got no teeth. It's probably the best thing that ever happened to me because when everyone else is like, "Oh, my teeth hurt, I need a dentist," I'm like, "Ha ha ha! I got no teeth." So yeah, I've got no teeth. Had them taken out a few years back. They were smashed to bits and whatnot, and that's that. Obviously, with my health conditions, like, well, my osteoporosis says, oh, I've got like quite severe osteoporosis now, apparently, but we don't go into that. Teeth gone, and having to eat like every couple of hours with no teeth, it becomes really unenjoyable. I can be honest with that one. It's sort of like, what's the word? Monotonous? Is that? No, I'm sure that's not the word. No, I can't pronounce it. It just went on and on. Laborious, we could say. But yeah, if you've got anything else that you want to discuss, talk about, or say, now is the time. Otherwise, we're going to head towards the end of the stream. I'm actually sat here, and it is like so hot in this office right now. I'm dripping. It's because I've got the office door shut and like all the heaters going, all everything. It's only probably about 28 to 30 degrees in here. It doesn't tend to get much hotter than that, but it's still. But right, so I'll go over it again, just so anyone that is in the chat now and wasn't earlier. This coming Sunday, not Wednesday, but the Sunday stream, we will be doing, I'll answer that in a sec, we will be doing our giveaway stream where there will be a couple of different opportunities and different prizes, which will get sent out on the following day, on the Monday, which is the last day of posting. Exactly, yes it can. It's like a furnace. It's because it's full of inverts and heaters and stuff. It saves me heating every individual enclosure if the whole room's just boiling all the time. Yeah. Yeah, that will be on Sunday. Like I say, there will be, I think, 3 different chances to win, we've said so far. I'm not going to go into details here. You'll have to join on the stream. I'm not going to do a big advertising thing either. If you're on the stream, you get to play. If you don't stream, then you're going to miss out, sort of thing. It's as simple as that. Yeah, let's see, we're going to have 3 different ways to win, and it's all fairly easy stuff. I say it sounds like I'm going to put a challenge up, but I'm really not. But yeah, so that's going to happen on Sunday. How old are these dives? I think they're about, they're probably about 2 years, 2.5 years old. I don't know how long I've been YouTubing now. Probably about 2.5 years old. This is like half of one of the nests in this colony. They've got a satellite nest as well, which is about 2/3 of a foot long and quite deep, whereas this bit is probably about 1.5 to 2 foot long and quite deep as well. It goes into about about 3 or 4 inches deep, maybe 6 inches at the very deepest locations. It's about 3 or 4 inches deep along pretty much the entire length of the back of the tank. There's a lot of them in there. I have no idea how many. They're sort of in quiet mode at the minute. They're not on a feeding day or anything. They're just sort of chilled. We have, in fact, I fed them an egg the other day, a boiled egg, just because I had a boiled egg and I wasn't going to eat it. And I thought, well, they'll eat it. Like, if they don't eat it, the beetles will, the isopods will. It's not going to go to waste, is my point. And they pretty much smashed down the whole egg like in a day. So like they've eaten. And they're sort of just chilling around the nest at the minute. Obviously, there's still ants all over the place, all over the tanks, all over the bridges, but they're not like swarming like they are sometimes when you really get to see the numbers involved. I have no idea how many there are. I have no idea how many queens there are now, because there was multiple queens when it came to me. And they bred more queens, which have also bred with males within the tank and actually on the outside of the tank, and just been reabsorbed straight back into the nest. I have no idea how many there are, but I assume quite a lot, because that's why they built a satellite nest and literally overnight. So we had a hollow amphitheater that you'd put into a fish tank, and they chose to overnight completely fill it, like completely leave it out and fill both. Like, it's packed. There's no gaps in between or anything, and that was literally in the space of a night. Literally, it was amazing. Took us all sort of by surprise. We sort of thought they'd be building a satellite nest soon, because is that an ant on the roof? Quite possibly is an ant on the roof of the tank. There's something. Yeah, there's an ant on the roof of the tank. Well, I'll get him in a minute. What was I even saying? No, I can't even remember now. Oh well. Got distracted by that ant, didn't I? But yeah, so no idea how many there are. Your worst thing. See, we're really used to it. Let's say when you get a colony of this size, you might get 1 or 2 escapees. You know what I mean? We don't have any lids on either. Like, that roof section is only half covering the tank. The front half is uncovered. The second tank's completely uncovered, and so is the third. And obviously, we've got an open air bridge. So occasionally they'll jump off the bridge onto one of the sides of the tank and run about. Occasionally they'll just run up the wire from the pump. It's not a massive issue. We pretty much just pick them up and put them down. The thing about dives is they're not overly, they're not as hard as Octospinius, but they're not too squishy. if you know what I mean. They're not that fragile. You can, like with a cotton ball, or even very gently with your fingers, you can just pick them up and throw them back into the tank, and they're quite happy with them. Not happy, but they're fine with that. You're not going to squish them as long as you're careful. I'm quite confident with them. It's, you know, it's just something they do occasionally, like that one. It's not going to cause a massive issue, and even if it was to bite me, I've been bitten worse. Yeah, it's not that bad. Like, the main thing about it is not to panic. Yeah, throw them. I don't mean throw them. You know what I mean. Come on. Yeah, the main thing about it is not to panic, like, at all. Just confidently and carefully deal with it. Um, but don't panic, because it's when you start to panic that more will escape, or you know what I mean. If there's an active escaping happen, don't panic. Just sort of deal with it. We have had it where they've all done a mass exodus before. This isn't that. That's clearly just one's got lost. You know, so I'm not going to panic like it's they're leaving. They're clearly not leaving. But we have had them a mass exodus before when the thing flooded because pump backfired, and they literally just went to the top where that one is and stuck it out there because it's the right environment for them. You know what I mean? Coming into the open office, it would be too dry, and it would be warm enough, but it'd be too dry for them really. Whereas in there, they just kind of, that's where they go. Simulator is good. Yeah, I have seen that store set that you've had some escapees. Like I say, the main thing, like, it just don't panic, just kind of deal with them, get them into up, or you know what I mean. Quite often, as well, if you're having issues with any kind of setup, any situation, just put it in a bigger box. Put some barrier around the outside of the bigger box, and it just gives you that extra breathing space, the time. You know, it's not so much of a panic anymore. And if they do escape, they're just in a bigger box, and it gives you the thinking space. You know what I mean? So that's all I can really say on that one. Is in any situation, any setups at all, that would be my advice. Is if you can, obviously I can't do it with this big old tank, but if you can, put it into another box. I mean, I've got one colony in particular. There you go. One colony in particular that no matter what you do, I've tried pretty much every barrier on the market. I've tried pretty much every trick in the book, and they just get over it. Paul can vouch for me on that. They just walk straight over all the barriers. In fact, he's been with me when we've been applying like 3 different types of barrier at the same time, and they've just steamed straight over all of them. And it's quite annoying. So we put them, I'm not going to go into what species this is because it's one on my shelf that I don't show off very often because they're just a pain in the backside. But I've basically got them in a baking tray. I put the whole setup in a baking tray, and I filled the baking tray with water so that they can climb on the outside of their setup now, but they can't escape. You know, it's just a matter of topping up that water every few days and making sure that it's always got water in. Simple as that. They can't escape, and yeah. It's quite interesting to watch though, because like literally everything, we tried everything, and it was just like, what is going on? Maybe it's the setup, maybe on like, it's not one of my setups, it's a setup I've had for probably years now. So maybe like a layer of like grit built up that we can't see, and they're using that to climb up past the barrier. I don't know, but something, and it just, whatever. They have it, but you're going to be contained still. That's the main thing. Oh dear. Yeah, they do try and cross the water. They can be a light pain, but they're not that sort of versatile with it. You know what I mean? Some ants, Polyrhacus in particular, not bothered about water at all. If they fall in the pond, they pretty much just swim to the side and walk out. And that's what I mean, Alex talks. That maybe the acrylics got scratched over the time with like the sand and the barriers and stuff like that. I don't know, but yeah, they're definitely uncontainable. But I say that about some ants, you know, you get some species which are just really hard to contain. I've got 3 different species of monomorium, and they are damn hard to contain as well sometimes. Um, but yeah, microspecies generally are. I always say microspecies, I wouldn't recommend anyone keeps them. If you are, I won't recommend putting them in any enclosure apart from a big tank because they just tend to get out of like the smallest little cracks or anything, you know what I mean? Like anything, they will escape. There's actually no humidity in the outworld area because it's got no roof section, and it's like a dry sand sort of situation. It's like there's no humidity at all. It's really sort of say it's perplexing. Is that the right word? I believe that is. It's perplexing how they do it, but they do. They do. Oh well. That's it. That's it. But yeah. On the next stream, I think I'm going to be showing off a different Polyrhacus dive colony because I do have 4 Polyrhacus dive colonies of my own. This is just the biggest and oldest one, but we do have others in different setups. My setups, of course, have been going for a little while now. That one looks really cool, so we're going to start showing them off on the website soon. Not on the website, on the YouTube soon. And yeah, so that will probably be on Wednesday. Right, we'll have a quick duck race then. We'll have a quick duck race. See, we used to do like 2 or 3 duck races every stream, but it's not really like I don't know. I fell out of the habit of doing it, didn't I suppose. It's not that I don't want to do it. It's just that it doesn't even pop into my mind at the moment. I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to drink some more coffee once I set it up. We have 8 people in the chat. No, 6 people in the chat right now. So I'll do 8 ducks. Now, when I said earlier I play the drums, right? When I learned to play the drums, I learned to play some basic rock music to start with, and then I basically learned. Why is it doing that? It should jump over. Okay, that's weird. It should jump over to the other screen in a second. Yeah, I started on basic rock and stuff, and it was sort of jazz. It's the hardest to play because there's so many. It's also the best, I'd say, because you get that bass beat from the rock playing, and then you just start improvising and just doing your own thing and this and that. I was getting really into my jazz music, and she was just giving me the weirdest looks like, well, you suck. I don't know. She doesn't suck. She's just not the same music as me. Yeah. I've got my kind of my silliness when I'm here singing and dancing and whatnot, and she just kind of looks at me like with a serious face, like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry." She can be very serious sometimes. Like, I don't know why it's not letting me super full. I have no idea. So we have a couple of plain ducks there. You got to watch out for these plain ducks. I say it every time. They like to plant some stuff. Duck there. I'm sure that costume. Like duck, kind of contradictory. We won't go into that. He is probably cooking duck later on. We got blue duck, pink striped duck, and astronaut duck. Astronaut duck. I'm not biased in any way, but I think astronaut duck might have a rocket to like help out him down the thing. Let's go in a pie. They do make duck pies, didn't they? I don't think I've ever had a duck pie. I've had duck. Like, it's quite like if you go to a Chinese, you're gonna have duck pancakes, aren't you? Like they're awesome. And I've had duck and I've eaten them. Well, I've had duck, but do people put it in pies? Do you have duck pie? You have chicken pies. Now we know that chicken and Miss Tweedy's chicken pies or whatever it was. I don't know about ducks. Maybe they need to do a duck film. They're doing a chicken bun too, aren't they? Has anyone else heard that? Like, I like chicken bun. I was like 9 people in the chat now. That's sorry, whoever is there and can't join in. Duck is kind of follow. Yeah, oh yes, I do like venison. My favourite actually was I had ostrich. That was really good. Crocodile, that's nice. That's like eating tuna, but with the sort of texture of steak. So it's really interesting. But we used to have a place in town that would do sort of. They didn't have loads of different meats, but they had weird different meats, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to try that. So I tried each one at least once. Why not? Wild boar. Yeah, really nice. Oh, the ostrich. I can't remember now. Yeah, ostrich is like steak. It's really nice. Really, yeah. Obviously, if you're vegan, I'm sorry, but I'm not. Oh, right, yeah. Making me hungry now. Coming to the end of the day. Good luck, everyone. Oh, and it's with number 1, I believe. Well, like I say, we will be having some actual giveaway on the Sunday coming, next Sunday that is, on the 17th. I nearly said 12th. Why do I keep saying 12th? It's so wrong. Like, today's 10th, 11th, 12th. That's Tuesday. What is going on Tuesday? Something in my head about Tuesday. I'm sure that's what it is. I'll look at my calendar and be like, that'll be why. And I'm sure it'll be easily explained. Oh well. On that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. I better crack on with some other stuff and better get some food as well before I forget again. But if you need me for anything, send me a message as always, and I will answer you as and when I have time. Let's say got stuff on with the family, Christmas stuff, and a million other jobs at the moment. So it is what it is. But I will always take 5 minutes to try and have a chat with you, as that's the best part of my job, really. But yes, thank you all for another amazing night, and thank you, Ant Dorset. Thank you all for your support. I better sort that Ant out as well. Massive thank you to our sponsors, Valhalla and Saras. Massive thank you to Patreon supporters, of course. And yeah, I'll see you all on Wednesday. As always from me, good night, everyone. See you again soon.